Okay, welcome back to the channel. To say I'm happy is an understatement. I am really pleased. So the last shot of the last video was of the pickup in the MOT bay, and I'm pleased to say that it has passed. Now, I'm not trying to convince myself that this is a perfect Jeep. I know it isn't, but it kind of makes me more justified, or makes me feel more justified in the amount of work I put into it. Obviously we replaced a lot of the parts as well and updated a few things, but it just makes me feel a lot better about doing the work, because it's not a waste of time effectively. So now that it's back on the road, I want to try and get it usable. So we've been looking for a tailgate for ages. Obviously in that shot in the MOT bay you can see it has no tailgate in it, hasn't got the bed liner in it. But we got really lucky with these parts, because we found a complete rear end. Not only was it a complete rear end, but it was a complete rear end in the right colour with all the parts. We've been looking for tailgates for ages, but of course when they've taken off the Jeep for scrap, nobody takes all the brackets, nobody takes all the latches, all the bits and pieces, and all the badges are missing. There's all sorts of bits and pieces, and these bits add up massively when you try and buy them on their own. It adds to the cost, and a lot of these tailgates really weren't cheap. But because we've got this rear end and it's off a super cab as well, so that even the liner fits, because obviously the liner of the double cab and the single cab won't fit, and the double cab is the one that everybody's got. So we got really lucky, and I'm so happy. So it's in the right colour and it's got everything we need. So we're going to go through the process of fitting that and getting it all cleaned up, ready for the road. So if you are enjoying these videos, please remember to hit the like button. It really is helping the channel out, and we'll just get on and get the video done. I'm just so happy. So you may have noticed the lack of tailgate on this pickup, and this was due to the rear box that was on the body. The way this box works, this tailgate covered the whole back end, but you might have noticed in the background of a couple of the videos that I managed to get this. So this is a body from another extra cab, which is strange because it's quite rare. It's in the right colour, which is a bonus, but it's got all the bits we need. I could have bought, there's a lot of tailgates on eBay and bits and pieces, but I then would have to buy all the parts extra, whereas this comes with all the bits I need. The cover obviously is in a bit of a mess, and so that needs replacing, but we're not too worried about that. But it has got the liner, has got the tailgate. It even came with lights, even though we got new lights, but it's mainly the liner and the tailgate I need, and the bar for the top. So I'm going to start stripping this down and get everything fitted to the other pickup. So take this rail off, but I think these are Imperial. It's probably American, certainly not metric, so most pickup parts obviously are made in America. So this bar obviously is fitted in here as well. So that bit we need. Okay, so I'm just going to remove the catches from this one and put them on the other one. These are 250 Torx. So I've rested that on a pallet with a piece of plastic on it. So take these off there, they just don't hook off there. So the trick I've come up with is to put a stud in here. Basically these are M10. I've chased them out with a tap just to clean them up. And all I've done is cut the head of a bolt, put a slot in it so I can get it back out with the screwdriver. So I can put that in there. And the idea is to hook the tailgate onto this end and then I can hold the other end. It's the only way I can work out to do it on my own. Obviously the straps can hold it as well then. So we'll give it a go and see how we go. Okay, so that's the tailgate on, just needs a bit of adjustment. Next job will be to put this bed liner in just to protect the bed. So obviously it needs a good wash first, so we're going to get the pressure washer on it and give it a blast out, and I think it's just held in with the clips on the side, so we'll have a look at that. I'll leave that drain off for 10 minutes. Okay, so while that's drying, get these out of here because I think this is part of the other rear end that was taken off. bit of corrosion under there. That's just stuck on with double-sided tape. I've touched up the bed ready, all the bare patches that ground down. That piece along the back can be redone because that's not actually covered by the liner. So I'll paint that after the liner's in again. So the next job now is to get this liner put in. So next on the agenda was to give the pickup a really good clean, and the first job was to get rid of these stripes. Now these stripes were from when it used to be Welsh Water's pickup, and it was obviously part of their livery. But we didn't need these, so we need to clean up the sides and make it look a bit nicer. And actually these came off a lot easier than I was expecting. So what I'm using to take them off is actually a plastic scraper, or actually a plastic mixer that you get with a tin of filler. I'm just using that as a plastic scraper just to peel those stripes off. Now, up until this point this was fairly straightforward, but I had to get the heat gun out for this piece and warm it up, and then right at the end of this piece it got a bit more difficult and broke into pieces, but got it off without any major issues. Once I managed to get the remainder of this stripe off, I grabbed a rag and some compound and basically just cleaned up the remaining bits and pieces of adhesive that were left on the bodywork. Once this was all done, I had to go over the other side obviously and get the other side off, get the other stripe off. But once that was all done, basically we gave it a good wash, grabbed the pressure washer and blasted off all the loose dirt.
grab the brush and give it a good brush over, then wash it by hand, and then any remaining bits by brush again. And this is where my old brush decided to give up the ghost, but luckily I'd already bought a replacement. So once this was done, we moved on to cleaning the interior.
Nice. Okay, so I took the seats out to give the carpets a good clean and give all the plastics a really good clean as well. Simple enough to take seats out, just a 7mm bolt on the actual electric connections, and then the Torx on each side of the seat. So we bolted the seats back in and wired them back up. They're a lot cleaner than they were. Cleaned up all the plastics and put some new floor mats in just to tidy everything up, and it looks a lot nicer and smells a lot better in here now. The only jobs left to do now are that driver's seat needs repairing or replacing. Probably easier to replace, so if anybody does know of any seats that are in fairly good condition, if you could let us know or just drop a comment, that'd be great. And the steering wheel. The steering wheel on this is very untidy, and I would like to replace it, ideally with a leather one if possible. Most of the higher models have got controls on the steering wheel. Obviously this one hasn't, and I'm not sure if I can replace it, so it's something I need to look into. Again, if anybody has any ideas for that, then be greatly appreciated. And probably we're going to upgrade the stereo and put a reversing camera in with a screen, just so that it makes it easier to back up. But other than that, it's pretty much done for now, and it's back on the road, which is the main thing. So that's going to be about it for this video. Please remember to like and subscribe, and thanks again for watching, and we'll see you again shortly on the next video.